Hi everybody, I'm Alice K. Ruckelhaus from SufferingWell and from the How Initiative, and I wanted to show you, because I've had some requests for this, how to do this kind of lettering. It's super easy. So I'm going to set this aside. Oh, first I want to show you a couple things. I do it in two different ways. So like here you can see that I've got it two places on the M and on the O, and on most of the letters it's in two places. Other times, and like I shared in another video, I don't really try to be consistent. Other times I just do it on one side, so you can do it either way. Okay, but I'm going to show you how to do this kind of lettering. It's super easy. All right, so I've got this piece of paper, and I should have a pen around here. I should have had that ready first, right? Okay, so you can write almost normally before you do it, but you just need to think of where you need to leave spaces. Okay, so the first thing is that, let's just write an A, okay? An A is actually not the easiest letter to do this with, but when I'm making the cross part here, the horizontal part, I don't come all the way to the edge, because what I'm going to do with my letters is I'm going to create a line inside there for thickness, and then I add a serif. That's this little line at the end that comes out past the edges. If you have a sans serif font, it doesn't have those lines. Okay, so I like to add those. You don't have to. And then I make dots, just little dots in that area. Don't make them too crowded, but like I've got 5 of them here. Sometimes I might just do 3. Okay, if I'm writing a word, like let's say love. Okay, so I'll write my L just normally. You can make it curvy or straight, however you want. I'll write my O. Now see how I'm kind of spacing it out a little bit? My V, and then my E. Okay, so I'm writing lowercase letters too. So it's best if you do the line inside. Okay, so like that. And then I'm going to do the line here. I'm going to add a little bit more of a serif here. So that's my L. Okay, and then I'm going to put my dots in. But let's say that you're writing a letter and you forget to leave room like that. Like if I was doing a B, the best way to do it would be not to bring this all the way to the first vertical line, but to leave a little bit of space and then make my horizontal line inside there. Okay, but let's say I forget. So I do my B and I bring it all the way over here. I can still add this outside, but do you see how it doesn't look quite as good? It looks better if it's inside, but it still is okay. And I've got that in my journal. There are places where I forgot to do that, and so they're like that, and that's okay. And then if you extend that line just a little bit like that and like this, that helps make it look a little bit less like it was an afterthought. Okay, I'm going to put dots in both of these that you can kind of see how they look. Add the serif there. Okay, do you see how this one here looks a little bit like an afterthought, but not too bad? Okay, all right, then the other thing is in your lowercase letters, or really any letters, you can choose, like I'm always going to do it on the left-hand side. So I've got that there. Okay, with the V, I'm going to do it here. Okay, with the E, I'm going to do it on the left-hand side, right there. Okay, I could also do it down here if I want to. Okay, or let's just do that. Hopefully you can see this. I think I can zoom in when I edit it. Okay, or you can do it on both sides of some letters, mostly just round letters. So I would bring one here as well. Okay, and then I would bring one here as well. Okay, sometimes I like it better when it's on both sides. Sometimes I like it better when it's just on one side. So I'm going to do an alphabet. I'm not going to do this on camera because that would be really boring to watch, but I'll do an alphabet of both upper and lower letters, and I'll take some pictures of that, of each different section of the alphabet so that you have something to look at. But I think you don't really even need that example. You can just do this, just follow the principles for it. But just in case you need that example, I'll go ahead and I'll do that. If you have any questions about this, let me know. Again, you don't have to use this lettering if you don't want to. I've just been asked to show how to do it. You can use just your normal writing is totally okay. That's totally fine. And there are also other lettering styles that you can do, but this is one that is super easy. Okay, I decided rather than just photographing these to go ahead and talk about them a little bit. So this is the first stage that I would do as I'm writing something. I write out the whole word, sentence, phrase, whatever, first of all. Okay, so do you see how I left some space here so that I can make those lines, those vertical lines down, coming down? Sometimes I forgot it. Let's see, there seems like there was some place that I forgot to do that. Maybe not on the capital letters. Oh, on the X, I should have left some space here. It's okay. You know, like I said, it's not the end of the world if you mess up. Okay. On letters like I left room so that I can make my vertical line right here. Okay. On the A, B, I should have left some space, you know, before bringing this all the way over the round part there. And then it seems like there's a few others. See how I leave the space here on the F so that I can make that vertical line there. Same thing on the G. So sometimes I remember to do it, sometimes I don't, even though I'm thinking about it and, you know, for a video. But that's, to me, that's okay. It's part of the charm of a junk journal is that it's not perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna now go through and add the lines, and I'll come back and show you that. I don't want you to have to sit here and watch me do all that. Okay, so I've added the line to the side here on each of these. Okay, so this was right here. That was the original line. So then I added the one in here. I had left space for that. Same thing here. So I will go back and I'll take pictures of these so that you have just pictures. And if you want to request those pictures from me, I can email them to you also if that would help. Let's see if there's any that I wanted to comment on. You try to be consistent. If you're going to only do one side, always do either the left side or the right side. Think of it kind of like a shadow. So the shadow is always, you know, like the light's going this way. So it's always on the left going down or something. Okay, so here, like my D, I had brought that line all the way up. That's a mistake, but that's okay. I'll just put a dot there. So I did that. And see how I don't have these like perfectly spaced or anything? You can do them perfectly if you want to. You can even use a ruler if you want, but you don't need to. They look charming when they're not perfect. Here I made two different kinds of Y. I made one with a curve and I made one with a straight line. So yeah, so I think that's all that I wanted to say about that. So now I will go in, I'm gonna add the serifs. So that's this part, this line. Again, you don't have to do that, but to me, it makes it look more finished. F needs it. You want to be careful with the F. See, I almost made that look like an E. So I'm going to actually extend these arms out a little bit further. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to add the dots, and then I'll show you how they look. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I was going to add the dots before I showed it to you, and I did put the dots in some of these, but I wanted to let you see just how it looks with just the serifs added to it. That makes a really nice print style in itself. So you could do your writing, do your lettering just with that thickness and then the serifs, or even just letters without adding that extra line and just having the serifs on them. I think that that looks really nice. It really adds something to it. So that's another kind of lettering that you might want to do. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to add the dots in, and then I'll show you that. So here's the final alphabet with the dots in it. And you can see it just adds a little bit of whimsy to it, I guess you'd say. You can tell that I'm not a perfectionist. My dots aren't all consistent. Sometimes they're not even straight, like on the J here, they kind of bounce around. But it doesn't matter. When you look at the whole thing, it's very unlikely that anybody's going to go, oh, these dots are thicker than these ones, or these aren't straight or anything like that. It's kind of the overall feel. And like I said, I'm really not into being a perfectionist, and I would love to release you from that if that's something that causes you stress. Okay, so that's it. If you do this, or if you're working on a notebook or anything, I would love to see it. If you want to send me pictures to the Proton Mail email, David and I will both see those because we shared that email for this ministry. I would really be encouraged by seeing them. If it's okay with you, if I share them on here on YouTube, let me know. I will not share them without your permission, but I think that other people would enjoy seeing each other's work as well. All right, and if you're doing other kinds of lettering or whatever, if you're interested in learning some other kinds of lettering, I can show you some others as well. But I do kind of like to, in one book, just go through and be consistent. But I'm happy to show you other styles of lettering as well. All right, I love you all. I'll talk to you later. Have fun. Bye-bye.